Hey guys, Rogue Nation here with you today. And we got a story. We've been working on it for a couple of days, been looking some stuff up and checking it out. Um, this is about a town in Louisiana called Fenton. And we got a couple of videos to play. We got a couple of things to look at on the internet here. So let's go ahead and get started. And we'll start watching this video here.
Of court that doesn't even exist in 48 other states.
Mayor's courts are unique because even without a law degree, a mayor is allowed to preside over court.
But a legal expert questions whether the mayor can actually be an impartial judge if the town profits when people pay their fines. Here's our new investigation in partnership with ProPublica, Mayor, Judge, and Jury.
Audio inside a tense staff meeting.
So he's gone. By the end of this morning, there's gonna be some layoff.
Led by a Louisiana mayor who refuses to answer our questions in an interview.
Mr. Mayor, how are you? Lee Zurich. We talked on the phone. How you doing?
This mayor is also a judge without a law degree. He has little, if any, training to run a courtroom.
There's no accountability, Lee.
And it happens because the state of Louisiana allows it. Only Louisiana and Ohio have this unique and little-known legal system.
You frustrated right now?
Am I? Am I mad? Yeah, I'm mad.
We met Teresa Parker in Fenton, Louisiana, a small village north of Lake Charles, about 3 hours away from her Slidell home.
Do you think they're taking advantage of people?
I felt like they did. I felt like he did.
Here's video from earlier this year. Fenton police pulled Parker over on her way back from a nearby casino. To contest the ticket, she drove all the way back to Fenton and showed up to what's known as Mayor's Court.
So the court's closed tonight, they told you?
Yeah, they told me. I drove all the way down here for nothing.
Fenton holds Mayor's Court once a month, but back in August when Parker showed up, court had been canceled. The fines and fees that run through Mayor's Court essentially run the town. In the last year reviewed by auditors, more than 90% of the village of Fenton's revenue, $1.3 million, was collected from fines and fees, the vast majority from traffic tickets.
90+% of their town budget, village budget, is from tickets from people like you.
So of course they're gonna give people tickets.
Because what?
They get revenue from it. And it's not fair.
And if you're someone like Teresa Parker who thinks she was wrongfully ticketed, you need to convince this person you're innocent. Eddie Alfred, the mayor of Fenton, who is also the courtroom judge.
Mr. Mayor, you told us you would do an interview with us, though, Mr. Mayor.
Talk to the attorney.
You told me on the phone that you would do an interview with me, sir.
Right here, talk to the attorney.
He told us on the phone that he would do an interview with us.
If he doesn't want to do an interview, he doesn't want to do an interview.
Alfred is the elected mayor of Fenton, a small village of just 226 residents. Instead of having a traffic or municipal court, the law allows Fenton to have Mayor's Court, where the mayor acts as judge, jury, and even appoints his own prosecutor.
I mean, you have the mayor as the decision maker, essentially the judge. And the results of those decisions, which are minor municipal offenses only, but they're criminal in nature, and they result in the assessment of fines that go to the city, of which the mayor is the chief administrative officer. The conflict of interest is so patently obvious, not to mention the fact that the mayor doesn't have to be a lawyer.
A 1972 United States Supreme Court ruling says defendants' rights are violated if a mayor sits on the bench, is responsible for town finances, and if the court accounts for a substantial share of the town's revenue. So how much is substantial? A court in Ohio says 10%. The Louisiana Judicial College uses that same threshold. Again, Fenton makes more than 90% of its annual revenue from court.
This is a perfect example of why it's unfair. And exactly why they have it. This is a revenue generating mechanism. It's not about justice. It's not about efficiency. It's not about fairness. It's about making money.
Tulane emeritus law professor.
And they're absolutely right, guys. This is just, it's incredible. Okay, they have about a 3,000 foot stretch on Highway 165. And they got about 1,000 foot stretch on Highway 102, and they intersect here in Fenton. And I mean, literally, this place is like 6 or 7 blocks long. It's not big at all. It's not a big town. You heard what he said, 226 people. in this town, right? So, and this isn't the first year that the village has brought in $1 million. I mean, they've been bringing in substantial amounts of money from at least 2017. I saw an audit that was like they brought in 700,000 from fines and fees, civil forfeiture, whatever. So the question then becomes, what's happening with all this money, right? So let me bring up some stuff here. This is the audit for the town of Fenton, and this ended June 30th, 2021. So let me see here. Yeah, see the revenue here in 2021 was $848,000. Not as close to the 1.3 million they made this last year, but you can see $850,000, let's say, compared to 1.3 million. That's a heck of a jump in a year, 2 years, right? But what I want to focus on is this, and this is their expenditures. And they say the general government spent $766,000 this year. All right. They said public safety spent $277,000. I don't know how many cops they have on to write tickets, because literally it's almost impossible to find information on this town. I know that the general government isn't paying an IT department, let's just say that. But let's look over some numbers that we've got. That's what I was looking for right here. Okay. So here in the local government employment and payroll for 2017, you were paying one full-time employee and 14 part-time employees at the cost of $16,000 per month. All right, but let's be generous, because this is only going to add up to about 160, 170,000, 180,000 at the most for the year for the salaried employees. It says you have one part-time officer, but you got to have more than that if you're writing that many tickets. And again, it doesn't say any full-time employees, so I'm not sure how accurate these numbers are. But let's just say, let's round up and say today, you're paying $300,000 in salary for your workers, okay, which is a lot of money for a town of 200 people, right? Let's just say that you got 300,000 you're paying for them, okay? You still need $466,000 spent, right? So here we see the mayor only earned $62,000 this year, and the board of trustees, aldermen, whatever you want to call them, they only made $14,000. So you put that together, and you still need to account for some $380,000. out of the general government. Now let's check another video out here.
Mayor of Fenton is defending himself tonight. Good evening, I'm Barry Lowen. Last week we reported on the village's finances, telling you that they generate more than $1 million per year from fines. Some residents we talked to wanted to know where that money was. KPLC's Haley Jefferson caught up with the mayor to get his side.
If you're going to generate that kind of money, I believe we ought to see it. I believe the problem that we have, we're not so much worried about it being done, because people do speed when they come through here. The problem we have is that the money is not, we don't see it.
Danny Alford is a resident of Fenton and even a relative of the mayor. Following our report, he voiced his frustration to us about the lack of progress seen in the town, despite the amount of money they take in.
Things around here that's been needing to be repaired, roads. You know, they finally got some money to fix the sidewalks after 20 some odd years, and then they didn't even do them all. These ditches are supposed to be covered. Everybody's supposed to have ditches covered. We still have open ditches.
We asked Fenton Mayor Eddie Alford Jr. about some of the claims.
When you come to a meeting, we have a spreadsheet that shows the name of the vendor, the invoice that the vendor sent, the date that the check was written, and the amount. It shows you clearly where all the money is going. The money is being put back into the community.
Regarding the sidewalks, the mayor says they were installed from Fenton Elementary all the way to 3rd Street. As for the ditches, he says the covering of the ditches was stopped after meeting with a member of the community.
Because one of the elder citizens in the community came to me and said, Eddie, if you close all those ditches in, you're going to have some trouble, because now you have a good flow for the water. You're going to be restricting the water. So I listened to what that elder statesman of the community said.
Danny Alford also told us he wanted to see more being built for the children in the community.
We just spent $112,000 on a library with one computer and 8 books. And ain't another person went through the door. Nobody even worked there.
Well, we built the youth center / library across the street. The Jefferson Parish Library is going to do some after-school tutoring if kids need tutoring. We're trying to work, you know, do the best we can to enhance the community here.
The mayor does say someone will be at the library, but if not, they do allow residents in remotely if they need to access it. He also disputes the claims of one computer. He also pointed out the construction of a new pavilion and plans for a new police station, apartment complex, farmers market, and museum.
He bought an old train station for a museum. What in the world do we have here to put in a museum? What have we collected over the years in Fenton?
People said we will never get a dollar store. We have a dollar store. People would say we will never get another business here. We have a brand new tire business that's opened up. We have housing that's coming right off of 165. So you can't not say the town is not progressing. The town is progressing.
In Fenton, Haley Jefferson, 7 News.
We will continue to look into all of the accusations and keep you updated.
Even when you're in a hurry, there's still time for personalized gifts. Personalization multi.
Enough of that stuff. But, yeah, now, again, what's interesting here, let me show you what I mean, is the town of Leonia, Louisiana, and I know I probably mispronounced that, Leonia, that's fine. But for the same year, this town of 1,400 residents, okay? So Fenton's got like 250 residents. Leonia has like 1,400 residents, right? Okay, so for their general government, $204,000. Okay? That's $500,000 less than Fenton. All right, now their public safety is a lot more, but when you look at the town of Fenton, the village of Fenton, they don't have a fire station there. They don't have a police. I didn't see a police department there. They're probably working out of City Hall. And they're still up to like $250,000 a year. I don't understand. And see, here's some more money for highways and streets, culture and recreation. This is the kind of stuff that's not going on in Fenton, right? You could look at the Google Maps. You could see the roads. These things ain't bright, shining, newly paved. And again, this has been going on for years. They've been getting money together. $766,000 for general government. Doesn't even say what general government is. Now, some of this down here tries to say what this money is being used for. Expenditure. Construction, regular highways, $113,000. But I don't see any construction. Sewage, $34,000. Local fire protection, $10,000. Police protection, $7,000. Police protection, again, $146,000. Local fire protection, $68,000. Financial administration, $63,000. Parks and recreation, $11,000. Like judicial and legal services, $4,000. Interest on debt, $15,000. What kind of debt you got? More police protection. More regular highways. Of course, they're making revenue. Hopefully to offset some of this stuff. You got $373,000 in long-term debt. I mean, what would you spend that on in a town literally 6 blocks long, guys? 6 blocks long. I'm just not understanding. Maybe you guys could help us out here and leave some comments below. Let me know what you think. I think some of this money's got to be getting pocketed somewhere. Or just bad financial decisions. Either way, the books need to be gone over. They need to trace down where all this money's going to, who these vendors are, what kind of services they're providing, supposedly. Alright guys, we'll see you on the next one.